Welcome back to my channel, The Unedited Couch. Today on the couch with me, I have Annie. Okay, Annie, I want to take you back to a moment in your life. You're 31, you have 3 beautiful girls. Now you're lying on a hospital bed. The ultrasound technician is there, she's examining your belly. Now she's just told you you're pregnant with twins.
Yeah. And the room just went completely nuts. Like, there was my mother-in-law in the room, and we were suddenly hit with the fact that not only was I pregnant, but I was pregnant with twins. And then the room just went deadly quiet, like eerily quiet. You could hear a pin drop in the room. And then the technician says, I need to go and get the doctor. And the room just went like, oh, what's going on? And I think my mother-in-law knew at that moment that there was something wrong, but I was so overwhelmed with the fact that I'd just been told that I was pregnant with twins. Like, that was massive for me. But then when the doctor came in, he was like, you've actually lost your babies. So yeah, they just moved me on back out into ER. And I think I was in shock because I remember my mother-in-law talking to me, but I don't know what she was talking to me about. I don't know what she was saying.
Definitely.
But I know she was definitely there, and she was definitely trying to comfort me and trying to talk to me, and but it was just blank to me. Like, it's like I couldn't comprehend. And then the doctor walks in the room and she gives me discharge papers and tells me that I can go home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, what happened then?
So my mother-in-law took me home. She actually drove me to the hospital. So my mother-in-law took me home. My partner had just pulled up from work because obviously his mum let him know what was going on. And I just collapsed in his arms. I completely broke down. That was the moment that I had completely lost everything.
Yeah, yep, definitely. So you had started to spot, that's why you went to hospital. How many weeks pregnant were you?
14.
14. Yeah. So that's 2.5 months. So you had known you were pregnant?
Yeah, we'd started telling everyone that I was pregnant 2 or 3 weeks prior.
Yeah.
So everyone knew, even like my work colleagues. I was working in a pub, so everyone that came into the pub to get their dinners or their lunches, they all knew that I was pregnant. They didn't know obviously that I was pregnant with twins, neither did I.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were all coming up and congratulating me, and they were excited because there was going to be new babies in the pub.
Yeah,
like that was
definitely.
a new exciting thing. But
and you and Colin had been trying?
Yeah, several months. We'd been trying for quite some time.
Yeah.
Quite some time.
So what an emotional roller coaster. So you were pregnant. Okay, so once you had even a day or so to process what had happened, how did you let family and friends know?
Well, my partner was actually really helpful in that regard. He told a lot of people, which must have been heartbreaking on him, and
because he'd lost babies too.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that a lot of people don't recognise, is the fact that not only has the woman lost something, but the partner has also lost something as well. So yeah, he was my backbone. He's my rock. He always had been, always will be.
Yeah.
But I think he done a lot that day for me, and I think that was to make things a little easier on me. I'd already gone through one process, but he had to deal with it on another level, I think.
Definitely. And you said you were still pregnant for a whole week before the babies actually came away.
Yeah.
Over that week, what were some of the things that family and friends did that really helped you out? Like what sort of things did they say and do that helped?
Well, my best friend, she's there no matter what. It was come down the salon, come get your nails done, come get your eyebrows waxed. Let's make you feel better about yourself.
Yep.
So that was really helpful. It took my mind off it for 5 minutes, so I was able to go out and have that little bit of pampering. But I think just knowing the fact that there were people there that did generally care, they genuinely were there to say, not are you okay? You don't ask that because you're not okay. And a lot of people did do that, but coming over and just having coffee and recognizing the fact that, okay, you're hurting, is there anything I can do, even if it's just to take the kids for a walk to the park and give you 5 minutes to comprehend, or do you want to take the kids out? Like, do you want to involve the kids? Do you want to... that's a hard one, Jem.
Yeah, because you've still got, like, even though you're going through this process, you've still got a house to run, you've still got a job, you've still got 3 beautiful girls that you've got to bath and feed, and while you're going through this grieving process and trying to come to terms with it, and there is a multitude of emotions that come with that, you've still got to carry on in life. And that is one of the hardest things.
I think the first week was hardest for me because they were still there, so I couldn't let go. That's how I felt. So in that first week, there was flowers coming in the door, and the house looked like a funeral home. Like, everywhere you went, there was just flowers everywhere. You couldn't even walk into the bathroom without seeing a bunch of flowers. Like, that's how. And I was grateful for the thought and the gesture of the flowers, but I think the comprehending that you've lost something that you haven't really truly lost yet was a bit much for me. I had to get out. I had to go away. I said to my partner, I've got to go. We've got to go away. I can't be here. He came in and took all the flowers out. When we got home, we went fishing. And I needed that. But yeah, that was after I'd actually passed them. So it was hard for that to be in your face constantly. You didn't feel like you got that little bit of a break. No. No, I can definitely understand that. Annie, what advice, now a fair few years on, what advice would you give your younger self, knowing what you know now? Fight for a curate. I was actually sent home to pass them naturally, and I passed them on my bathroom floor a week and 2 days later. And my kids were in the next room, and they could hear me crying, and I remember screaming at them, "Don't come in here," because you see everything, and the things that you see there in that moment, I wouldn't want my worst enemy to see, because you see everything. You see that they're translucent, you see their veins, you see they've got fingernails. So I would definitely fight for a curate, definitely, 110%.
Especially that far along.
Yeah, I was 14 weeks 2 days in gestation.
Yep.
So they should have really given me a curate. Anything from 9 weeks on, they should give you a curate no matter what. I don't know what the circumstances were for them not to do a curate for me. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not about to pretend I know. But I would definitely.
But for your mental health.
Yeah.
And the families.
Yeah.
And because you have to not only recover from finding out that you're having a miscarriage, but then you also have to mentally and physically recover from giving them away naturally. And like you said, that's something you can't unsee.
No.
And lives with you for the rest of your life, where if you had had a curette, that is at least one thing you would not have had to experience.
I think if that day that I found out that not only was I having twins, but I had also miscarried, I think if they had given me a curette on that day, I would have been able to do a whole different grieving process.
Wow.
And that's all it comes down to, really.
Yep. And definitely your mental health.
My mental health went through the ringer.
Yeah.
And I think my partners would have had to have as well.
Yeah.
And I can't thank him enough.
Yeah. Because
he's my backbone. But if I didn't have
fair.
No, and it wasn't
fair.
No.
Definitely not. Annie, in your opinion, do you feel our communities, our social media, our government, do you feel that they provide enough support for women and partners and men and lady partners? Do you feel that they provide enough support so that we can talk about these things?
No, definitely not, especially not for the men. They've lost something just as much as we've lost something. And I definitely think that they need as much help as we need.
Yep.
And I definitely don't think that there is enough funding out there to support people that have gone through miscarriage. It's just swept under the carpet.
Yeah, definitely. I would have to agree with you, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there that would agree with you as well. Yeah. All right, something to think about, Annie. Definitely. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching my channel. I really hope this has made it a little easier to talk about, even with you and your partner, you with your friends. It is really good to talk about these things and not bottle them up inside. And it's not taboo. It's not taboo to talk about a miscarriage. It's very unknown why these things happen, why they happen to certain people and not others. You didn't do anything wrong. Don't feel guilty. You do go through a natural grieving process. The whole experience is horrific. And yes, I hope this makes it just a little bit easier to allow you to be able to talk about things. Make sure you like my channel, subscribe, hit that bell, and also find us on Facebook as well. Thank you. Bye.